Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Succulent. Succulent is a nice enough nature-ish game. It feels like there's been quite a few of these nature games coming out recently. Either you're planting stuff in a field to get resources and goods and bits of plant, or you're playing with butterflies. There's a whole bunch of those butterfly games out. There's just a nature thing going on. I don't dislike nature. That's okay. Nature's fine. It is what it is. It just feels like a lot of people have kind of jumped onto this nature idea. I'm assuming it's on the back of the popularity of Wingspan. I may be wrong. This is not designed by anyone who is any way connected to Wingspan. It's just something I've noticed with the games that I've been coming across lately, that a lot of them are that nature idea. So this is a 2 to 4 player game that's put out by Renegade Games. I quite like it. It's quite lovely on the table and playable. The whole idea of it is that you have a garden bed and you're putting flower beds over the top of it. My language may be incorrect on this, by the way, so please apologize. I do apologize for that, but you've got a board, you're putting your garden beds over the top. Each of the garden bed pieces has holes in it, and so you're getting cuttings from whatever coloured plant you cover up with that garden bed. Those cuttings are used to purchase cards which have points or some other bonuses on them that work towards the end of the game, and you're just trying to add up as many points as you possibly can for the end of the game. Your placements and the cards that you're grabbing and various things will give you water tokens, either small water tokens or large water tokens. The small water tokens are one use only. Large water tokens can get you points at the end of the game, depending on where they're placed on your home board. And that's pretty much it. The placement of the tiles will give whoever they've been placed next to some small water tiles. Those water tokens, by the way, can be used through the game to give you kind of, if you've got 3 on this coloured flower, then that counts as a cutting. It's kind of a wild card where you don't have to get the appropriate colour in. You can just go, using the water, and I've got that colour. All pretty straightforward, and it plays just like that. It plays relatively straightforward, where you're putting out 1, 2, or 3 space flower beds, or you're putting your marker onto some of these cards to get some flower beds, and then if you've got the right cuttings, you're trading them in for the card. This game, and I fear an awful lot of games that I've come across, especially recently, have missed a few really, it seems, vital elements in the rules. There's just, you come to a point where you just start questioning. It's like, oh, what's that actually mean? You can make a decision on it, and there's obvious ways that it should go, but it doesn't actually state in the rules what they actually intend. So watch my other videos of Succulent, you will notice a couple of times I've said, this isn't in the rules. If you know the rule, please, please, please comment below. So please, comment below if you know the rules, the actual rules of things that just haven't been placed in the rulebook. It may be something that's just in my copy of the game. You'll probably know, so I'm not sure how well you'll see it on the video, but in my filming of the game, which I've already done, I noticed that there's some of the cuttings look brown, and it may just be the lighting I was using, because I didn't notice that when I was actually playing the game. But there's no brown in the game. I don't know which color they're expecting. I had to make a decision, say, I think this is red, or whatever color I think they're actually talking about there. That shouldn't be the case in any game. It should be, this is in the rules, this is what it is. Now, it may have been the lighting that I was using just makes it look a little bit different, but if they're on the same card with a red and a black and a green and all of the colors happen to be on the same card, and there's this brown, there's no reason for that. There really isn't. It's one of the frustrators that I have with games. Just it may be just my copy. Please bear that in mind. It may be just my copy, but the colors are really important. If you are someone who struggles with color, this is not going to be a game for you, simply because there's nothing that distinguishes those colors other than the color of the piece. I am someone who is color deficient, which means some shades of red and green look the same to me. So if they're really close in that shading area, it's really hard for me to pick the difference. So most of the people I play with are aware of it, and we look at the pieces and I go, okay, those two look really similar. I'm not going to take one of those colors as my color to play with. I will tend to go towards white or black, not because I'm colorblind, but because I just find it so much easier to go, I know exactly which color my pieces, my section of the board is when I do that. That's fine. But with a game like this, when there's colors that are they're actually pretty close in the colorization space, it's really hard. The green is actually looks almost white to me, to be honest. The just like little stuff like that. It's like it took me a moment when playing the first time to go, I'm pretty sure when they say green, they're talking about that color. And things like that, just it's something to be aware of. If you're a game designer, a publisher, please make sure that there is, number one, a good enough distinction between the colors. Number two, if this is a color based game, put some logo onto those color pieces so you know what you're looking at, for people who happen to be color blind and can't actually see the differences between pieces, especially if they're really close in their shading. And so with this game, as I say, it may be the lighting. I found that some of the markings on the cards looked brown, and there is no brown in the game. It's just a frustrator I have. Please forgive me, and we'll move forward. But bear that in mind if you are publishing a game. If you're purchasing this game, I would almost suggest to actually open up and have a look at the copy you're purchasing in the shop to see if that brownness is coming through. As I say, I don't know if it's come through on the video or not, but that's how my eyes saw it as I was doing the videos. There's elements on the cards as well, which don't 100% have an answer. So with the cards, when you get them, so you've paid the cardings to get the card. Most of the cards have points, then either a slash something or just an arrow going to something. If there's an arrow going to something, you get to put it down straight away. Great idea. That works really nicely. But the little things like, okay, put down a single garden bed on there. Okay, I can do that, but do I do that as if it's a turn? So if I've covered up a thing, I get some water. If I put that piece next to other people's pieces, do they get water as well for that placement? Does the piece have to come from my pieces, or does it come from the box just as a bonus? Here, have a single to put down. These are things that are not answered in the rule book. As I say, if you have the answer, if you know how this game should play, please, 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 please comment below. Let me know the clarification on these things. There may be something on BGG. I haven't looked at it for this game to actually see. I just haven't had time to do the trolling to work it out. But realistically, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't ever have to look at a website to go, oh, this is how to play the game. I've bought the game. I need to be able to open up and just play it straight up. So if you are a publisher, please bear all that stuff in mind and make the changes to your games. Make them playable to people who don't have knowledge of the game or pre-knowledge of the game. Yes, these videos are great for fixing up that stuff, but I would really love to know the answers so I can put them right on the video. I think that is probably enough talking about Succulent. Like the actual playing of the game, other than those couple of little details, the playing of the game itself was fine. The appearance on the table, it's fine. It works. The way of playing is fine. It works. It just flows quite nicely. It comes to a natural conclusion. The scaling for the number of players with just a couple of different numbers on the card, on how many cards are out or how many little pieces you're going to put out, that's fine. It works really nicely for different levels of player in terms of player count. But just having the final detail of these rules would be so much easier than having to just make the best guess. So I'll leave it there. Please go ahead and watch my Gamesplaying Gamesplanation to get a feel for how the game actually plays. If you have any games that you would like to be gamesplaned, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games that I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.